Time for Simmer's Morning Skate with none other than John Forslund, the television voice.
Poor guy.
We are full gorilla today here at the. We should give the Marriott a plug.
Yeah, JW.
Yeah, JW.
To make that distinction.
Yeah,
that's
with
important.
Ambient noise.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is because I forgot my mic.
Okay.
These things happen. So, welcome back to Vancouver.
Good to be here.
Tonight it is Joey Daccord.
Now,
if we predicted this a long time ago, Joey Daccord against Spencer Martin. I don't know if we would
in the preseason.
Maybe the preseason.
But not tonight.
So what's happening on your side?
Well, it's interesting, Simmer. I think the reason for Daccord's recall is to prevent rust. In the American League, Charlotte is clinched first place. They have a bye. So they have to wait for a series to be played before they get their first round opponent, which will be in about 10 days. So I think it's a reward situation. It's a back-to-back for the Kraken. They go home and play LA tomorrow night. And give him a chance to get another start. He's had a couple this year. And get a long look at him. He had a great season. Set a record for save percentage with Charlotte this season. Second best in the American League. So good for him.
Now, just to clarify this for Canucks fans, it's more of a scramble on the Vancouver side because Spencer Martin has led the AHL Abbey Canucks to a playoff spot, but they're still kind of tussling for home ice in this little play-in round. But now with Halak out, Demko out, you've got Martin, you've got Artur Silovs, who's just in the ECHL, so it kind of affects the AHL and the NHL teams. In general, we look back now and we think the Kraken have the third lowest points in the National Hockey League. What's the feeling in the Emerald City about this?
Well, the feeling is still good, believe it or not. The fans have been terrific. There's a little bit of pressure to be way better next year. Not win the division, but be a little bit more real in terms of what a lot of people thought they would be this year. I thought they'd be close to the playoff line. I wasn't sure they'd make it, but I thought they'd be better than they have played. But there's a variety of different reasons. The team is different now after the trading deadline. A lot of people have come and gone. And Ron Francis has a tremendous amount of draft choices to either trade, utilize it that way, or start drafting real good players and building a pipeline and building a minor league system and all the things they haven't been able to dip into in year one.
Your martini sounds like it's coming along.
I hope so.
Your pregame.
Three. I need three.
At one point, it looked like the power play was going to be pretty good. I remember preseason thinking, boy, the first unit's pretty strong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, was there any, what's been a positive, one of the things you could take away and say, hey, this was pretty good?
Individually or from the
either,
I think you started with the power play, and I think one of the guys that's had a really good year is Jared Mckay. So fans around here are familiar with him from his days with the Canucks at the beginning of his career. He has had a hard time finding the right slot. With the Kraken, he's found that slot, which means he plays in all vital offensive situations. He's had a very good year on the power play with 8 power play goals. He's a 20-plus goal scorer, signed a 5-year extension. I mean, this is a guy we talk about repurposing your career with an expansion team. He's been able to do that. Jordan Eberle is on the brink of 20 goals. He's got 19. He basically has performed the way he has with other teams. He's gone through some scoring droughts, which are a little puzzling, periods of time where you don't see him much. But he's a good veteran. He's been a good leader on the team. Yanni Gourde has been sensational. I really hope moving forward they consider him to be the captain of this team. That's been great to watch him play game in and game out. Not only that, but to watch him practice and how hard he works and how he tries to help his teammates. That's been a real positive. Matty Beniers joining the team at the tail end of the season from the University of Michigan, the 2nd overall pick last summer, has been a really good bright spot, a glimmer into the future. He is grinding his way through now. His last couple of games, he's kind of leveled off a little bit. He's got points in every game but one. But overall, I think it was very good at the beginning. His debut was sensational in Calgary. But this is to be expected. He's never gone through this type of travel. He's never gone through a season like this where he played collegiately. He had his junior tournament stunted. That got called back. He went to the Olympics. I don't think he had that on the radar. So he's done an awful lot. And then, of course, they're really disappointed they didn't make the national championship game. Yeah. So it's been kind of a roller coaster for him emotionally. And then at the age of 19, he's whistled off from there into Seattle, and bang, here you go. So he's been running on adrenaline, but that's been good to see. On the back end, Adam Larson's had a very good season. Now, a lot of people would say, really? I mean, his numbers don't jump out at you. He is who he is. But if you look at his minutes, his blocks, his physical play, he's a cornerstone piece for them back there. So they've had some really good stories. And obviously, I think the team success is the one that everyone will point to because of what Vegas did in year one, and the comparisons that never go away. They've had to live with that. And I think that's been part of the pressure they put on themselves at the beginning of the season.
Speaking of potential emotional roller coasters, Philip Grubauer, I mean, let's face it, this guy was supposed to be, the stalwart back there. And he obviously wasn't operating with the same personnel. So how tough do we think it's been on him, and what does it all mean moving forward?
Well, I think it's a combination of things with him. Stat line isn't very good. Play has been sporadic, up and down. But I think he's a guy who tried to justify his existence at some point to a fault. And because of that, his play suffered. He signed a big ticket. He'll be there, Simmer. He'll be there next year and beyond. He's not going anywhere. So he's their number one goalie. He's paid that way. And, finalists for the Vezina with a much better team in Colorado. This year, it's really been a mixed bag. But I see him bouncing back because his second half has been pretty solid. And it's kind of quietly been that way because no one's paid attention. And everyone has looked at his numbers and said, oh, look at the Kraken. Their fancy numbers are pretty good. The goalie numbers aren't any good. Goaltending stinks. There's more to the story than that. Really is. Trust me on that one. It's not really all on their shoulders. But he's going to have to be way better next year for the Kraken to be serious about, trying to compete for a playoff spot.
Last thing here, John Forslund, we've got the big rivalry that's not yet a big rivalry for all of the aforementioned reasons.
Right.
So tonight's an opportunity for the Kraken to finally do a little damage against the Vancouver Canucks, who are 3-0 against their Pacific Northwest rivals. So let's get this fun started. What do you think?
It's going to be fun, and I think moving forward it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll get to that point where both teams are maybe in a playoff series. We've talked about that before, and that would be absolutely sensational. So the proximity is great. The fans, there's a lot of Vancouver fans in Seattle. There's Kraken fans all over the place because of the newness of the team and the merchandise, the colors, and so on. But at some point, let's get real with both teams, and that will really take it to the next level.
Yeah, and as we know, the Vancouver Canucks have some work to do as well, so we shall see. John Forslund, who you can see on the Kraken telecasts and also on TNT Sports in the United States, if you happen to catch the network stuff, that's him right there.
You can always turn the volume down. It's an option.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good, though. Thanks, JF. Cheers, man.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, let's grab those martinis.